somebody just work on figuring out the graphic? We're going to go live. 3, 2, 1. Hello, WCBN Wolverine Nation. You're listening to 88.3 WCBN FM Ann Arbor, and this is the women's soccer broadcast for the Michigan Wolverines versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. A few technical difficulties made it a bit troubling to start up the stream, but we're here live now. Apologies for anything we've missed. Currently 3 minutes into the game, score is still 0-0. Ohio State have one shot on net that thankfully was easily covered up by the Wolverine goalie. Starting things up, my name is Ryan Dolson. I'm joined here today by...
Hi, my name is KG Foley.
We're so happy to be broadcasting here with you today as Ohio State calls for a stop play as they pass the ball over to some defenders. Intercepted, however, by number 3 for the Wolverines.
Number 3 for the Wolverines is Sammy Woods, a junior playing forward today.
Passing it over. Wolverines holding on to the ball deep into their own backfield right now as the ball will be kicked out of play, hitting on top of the stands and going essentially out of the stadium there. 42 minutes left in this first half. Only just started, only 3 minutes in. Score again, still 0-0. Wolverines will throw the ball in, but Buckeyes will take lead. Kicking the ball over to the corner for number 5 on the Buckeyes.
Number 5 on the Buckeyes is Sydney Jones, a sophomore defender.
Passing it over to number 15. Ball will hit a Wolverine defender, and the ball will roll out of play. It is going to be a throw-in for the Wolverines.
There's a big crowd here tonight for the Ohio State game. Lots of fans came out to support. Some really good energy. This is a really big game. They're second for the second Big Ten Conference game for the Wolverines. They had a tough loss last week against Maryland, but they're back here today with good energy as they start to move down the field. Number 19 moving her way up, battling through a few defenders, foul.
Whistle going to be called, stopping play there just for a moment. Going to stay here with the Wolverines. It would appear that number 12, Tamia Tolbert, going to pass it over. Starting play up again over to number 4, Margot Ridgway, the defender. Slowly dribbling the ball upfield, but it is intercepted by an Ohio State player. Driving the ball deep into Wolverine territory, passing it over. Wolverines will intercept. That's Sarah Bridenstine. Wolverines hold on to control, but not very confidently, it would seem. Wolverines not having a whole lot of time or a whole lot of opportunities to have the ball in Buckeye territory, but a very deep pass over that Buckeyes will unfortunately intercept in their own section. Bit of trippage, some gasps from the audience. Nothing going to be called. Some fans might disagree with it as Wolverines maintain possession back over into Michigan territory. Starting to slowly move the ball upfield. Ohio State player tripping. That's going to be number 33 for the Wolverines in the corner. Taking a shot on net, but no Wolverines. Oh, I spoke too soon. Unfortunately, not going to get a good look on the net. Buckeyes will pass the ball. Ball will fall out of play. It will be a corner kick for thrown for the Wolverines. Number 10, Hannah Blake, passing it back over to number 33 for the Wolverines. She's going to throw it towards the net, but there is no Wolverine right there. Knocked out of play by the Buckeyes. Ohio State slowly starting to dribble the ball downfield. That's number 19 for the Buckeyes, making some stellar passes. Solid footwork. Michigan had a lot of solid opportunities right there for looks at the net, but their players too defended well up. Buckeyes got the ball in the goalie box on the Wolverine side, but it is going to fall out of play. How are we feeling so far on this one? Looks very heavily like the Buckeyes game so far, but of course only 39 minutes left in the half. Plenty of time still left to play. Ball again kicked out of play for a Buckeye throw-in. Wolverines managing to intercept and steal the pass, kicking it upfield as the Wolverine managed to get ahead on it, but it will go back to the Buckeyes. Taking a wild shot on net, it is going to go far right. Ball will go out of play yet again. Buckeyes so far, 2 shots on goal compared to Wolverines, none. But of course, the only stat that matters on the score, still 0-0. Bit of a heavy wind here at the soccer stadium, blowing some of our papers away. Had to do a bit of a late start, as we said. Some technical difficulties kept us, but we're so glad you're tuning in. Ohio State trying to get something going again with a corner kick, trying to get a shot on the net, but it is going to be far left. Passing it back over to some Wolverine defenders. Very few players over on the Buckeye side. The ball has not spent too much time over there since the starting kickoff. Wolverines had a couple okay-ish open looks, but unfortunately could not get anybody to take a shot on net. Wolverines trying to get something going against this Ohio State squad. Ohio State entering this game 5-2-1, coming off a 2-0 loss at number 4 Rutgers. Wolverines slowly starting to drive the ball down the field. I believe that's number 3, passing it over to number 14. But a Buckeye going to be there to kick the ball out of bounds. That is going to be a corner kick for the Wolverines.
I think the Wolverines' goal right now is to sort of just get some shots on net and try to find a way to finish through. They've been out shooting opponents so far this season and just having a tough time finishing on the other end. Another kick towards goal, butted out by a Buckeye.
Wolverines maintaining possession of the ball here. Apologies. Number 14 for the Wolverines.
Cross forward. Oh, a missed opportunity in front of the net as it rolls out. It's still in play. It's still in play. Wolverine gets to the ball, maintaining possession. Another cross kick, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be the Buckeyes' ball going back the other way.
Landing on top of the net. That's been the best look the Wolverines have had in this game so far. As I mentioned earlier, the ball has been very much so in Wolverine side of the field for most of the game, but the Wolverines had some great looks there, some great passes, just very well defended by this Ohio State squad. Again, papers blowing everywhere. We're trying our best. 35:50 remaining in the first half. Still no score. Wolverines unable to register a shot on goal on that corner kick a moment ago. Buckeyes with 3 shots on goal and 1 corner kick to compare. Passing it around, ball not leaving midfield between several Buckeyes. Wolverines trying to press up to gain control unsuccessfully.
Possession retained by the Wolverines as they try to get the ball out of their area.
Number 4, Margot Ridgway, passing it back up onto the far end of the field, away from the press box right here. Hard to make out the numbers at times, but the ball is going to go back to Ridgway and over to Tolbert. Offensively, number 33 for the Wolverines, but the Buckeyes will steal control, but thankfully well defensively scouted by the Wolverines. Both
that was a great defensive move by Avery, number 19.
As the ball will fall out of bounds, is going to stay here for the Buckeyes as they throw it in, seemingly before a few Wolverines were ready, but they are able to kick the ball out of here, give control back over to number 14 on the Wolverines. Starting to move slowly upfield. That is number 6 of the Wolverines with the ball. A great look on net. But as she is being hounded by 2 Buckeye defenders, she gets a shot on net that is easily scoured by the Buckeye goalie. As we mentioned, Buckeyes 5-2-1 heading in this game with a loss to Rutgers compared to the Wolverines 5-3-1 record. I believe, as you mentioned earlier, coming off a brutal 1-0 loss against Maryland last week on Friday at Maryland.
Right now, the Wolverines have a new goalie in net from last season. Her name's Izzy Nino. And I think for the Wolverines, trying to mesh their defense with a goalie who hasn't gotten a lot of experience in the past 4 years, as she is a graduate student. So I think that's definitely their main focus, is figuring out how to strengthen their defense. As we can see, the Buckeyes have been getting a lot of chances over in our area, and figuring out how to properly clear that ball in an efficient way so we can get the ball down to our offensive side and get some shots on net.
Wolverines maintaining possession of the ball deep on their own end. Buckeyes manage to breaking it up a little bit as they take possession back over on the Wolverine side of the field. 33-15 remaining in this first half. Score remains 0 apiece. Buckeyes passing it along each other at the midfield area. Buckeye goalie stepping out, feeling very confident in this team's ability to handle the ball so far. Whistle going to be called. A bit of contact. Thankfully nothing too serious, but going to be called against the Wolverines. Ohio State setting up for a kick.
It's always fun when we play Ohio State. Our all-time series against the Buckeyes, UM leads 15-13-5. So it's definitely fun to have a rivalry here on our field. It's been a few years since we've played against Ohio on a home court advantage. Definitely want to take advantage of being at home as we have a 4-0 as opening here.
Stadium very packed as Ohio State sends the ball to the net way high above the net, harmlessly falling out of play. Wolverine goalkeeper will take it. As we said, very packed audience here for this home game of Michigan against the Buckeyes. It is, of course, We Don't Talk About Brutus Night. Free pizza and shirts for the fans based off the, I think it's fair to call it a modern Disney classic, Encanto. Wolverines, some rough play right there.
Back into play for the Wolverines as they move towards the goal.
That was Casey Lawrence for the Wolverines, who was a little roughed up there. Whistle called as the Wolverines will take control at midfield. Great chance to get something set up here, as I believe number 12 for the Wolverines kicks it in right over to a Buckeye head. They will take possession back as Wolverines and Buckeyes fighting for control of the ball over here at midfield. Both teams really looking for that step that will give them the advantage over here. Passing it over to number 1 on the Wolverines, Izzy Nino. Wait, no, excuse me, wrong number. Getting a great look on net, but nobody is going to be there, but the ball stays in play.
Another missed opportunity for the Wolverines, but definitely showing some aggression in front of the net. Hopefully we can find a way to finish in the next few shots on goal.
I said Izzy Nino, and I immediately realized, wait, no, that's our goalie. That was number 6, Casey Lawrence, who had a great look on net. Very well scouted again by the Buckeyes. Stellar defensive play so far today. Really, as I'm sure you heard that fan outcry, really looked like, again, the best opportunity I'd say either team has had all night. Unfortunately, just no Wolverine there, and by the time the ball came back into play, the Buckeyes had that one well scouted as they kicked the ball deep into Wolverine territory. Wolverines managed to steal the ball, though, and kick it out of bounds. Help the Wolverines get set up on defense. Stop the Buckeyes from taking advantage here with 30 minutes left in the first half. Score remains 0-0. Wolverines tied against the Buckeyes. Both teams opened up Big Ten play with a loss. They're both looking to avenge it, especially against a bitter rival. As the Wolverines will take the ball. Lots of open field ahead of her, but the Buckeye defenders will catch up as she steps back into the midfield, hoping to get the Wolverines set up, but a Buckeye is right there to steal the ball away. The Wolverines will again take over possession at around midfield. Passing it back over. Buckeyes with possession. Buckeyes holding on to control. Deep into middle field of Wolverine territory, but suddenly in the Wolverine goalie box, but well scouted by Michigan defenders. Passing the ball up midfield over to the Buckeyes. But well scouted again. Pass stolen. Great pass over to the Buckeyes, stolen by number 10, on the Wolverines. Passing it way upfield to number 6, but unfortunately passed just a bit too far. easily handled by the Ohio State goalie. 28:30 left in this first half. Still scoreless.
The last time Ohio and Michigan faced each other, the Buckeyes were able to come back from a 1-0 deficit to win the game with a 2-1 victory. So I think the Wolverines definitely have some revenge on their mind here tonight. And as we have our home field advantage, hopefully taking in from the crowd some energy to get something happening and get a goal on the board.
Buckeyes holding on to the ball again in Michigan territory. Bit of a tussle up there, but Buckeyes will retain possession. Seemed like she was looking for a shot on net, but decides to pass it back over to number 7 for the Buckeyes, who will take a shot on net, but very brilliantly scouted by Nino on the Wolverines. A great kick and an even greater catch by the Wolverine goaltender. She rolls it forward over to number 4, Margot Ridgway on the Wolverines.
Margot Ridgway will return to the lineup after missing the Maryland game due to a red card suspension.
It's a deep pass into Buckeye territory. There's a Wolverine right there. Plenty of open field in front of her. A whistle is going to be called, though. Not quite sure what for.
I think it was probably an offsides call.
Seems likely.
Unfortunately.
Seems very likely. Buckeyes having possession in their own backfield. Passing it over as players on both sides try to get set up defensively and offensively. Still no score, less than 27 minutes remaining in this first half. As Wolverines able to intercept a pass. Buckeyes trying to steal it right back, but it will go out of play for a throw-in for the Wolverines.
The Wolverines are currently second in the conference and 15 nationally with 26 goals on the year. And Sammy Woods is the Big Ten leader with 7 goals this season.
Wolverines passing it amongst themselves, trying to get something going downfield, but the Buckeyes playing full field press in several instances of this game. Wolverines passing it back over to the goalie, hoping to move some of those Buckeyes back. Number 12 on the Wolverines passing it forward. Unfortunately, right over to an Ohio State defender who is going to kick the ball right over to the Buckeye goaltender. The Wolverines starting to play a bit of a full field press here. Pass hit by a Wolverine head, but possession maintained by the Buckeyes as the Wolverines manage to steal a pass. Ball straddling around midfield at this moment, but a pass intercepted by a Buckeye. Several players here in the goaltender box, but stolen right back by the Wolverines. Ball over at about midfield in Wolverine possession.
There are 2 seniors to definitely keep an eye on this season as they were named Big Ten players to watch. We have seniors Hannah Blake and Lily Farkas. Lily Farkas has done a really great job of attacking the net, but sometimes the Wolverines have a tough time finishing. But also Hannah Blake out there. And sophomore Avery was also named a player to watch in the Big Ten season. So definitely keep an eye out for them this season.
Buckeyes slowly starting to move it up to the midfield into Wolverine territory. Pass on over, nearly intercepted by a Wolverine player, but number 5 on the Buckeyes passing over to number 19 to retain control over in the right side corner, more so towards the press box. Wolverines managing to steal a pass, kicking it right upfield, right towards an Ohio State defender. Moving it towards the net. Nearly a shot on goal there, intercepted by a Wolverine foot. Buckeyes managing to hold on to possession. Number 19 over in the right corner, passing it towards the net, but no Buckeyes will be there. Buckeyes maintaining possession after, I believe, number 4 for the Wolverines. Margot Ridgway kicking the ball away from the net. 24 minutes remaining here in this first half. Still scoreless. Listening to WCBN FM Ann Arbor Radio 88.3. Whether you're listening on the radio or over YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. Buckeyes straddling the ball, passing between each other at midfield. This pass will be hit by a Wolverine head, number 33, I believe, perhaps 23. Not quite sure, but regardless, hits a Wolverine head and falls out of play. Trying to look at my notes here. Ohio State making some substitutions. Number 8 coming in for the Buckeyes. Wolverines deciding to leave their starting lineup on the field. Buckeyes maintaining control after that throw in from a ball out of play. Some fancy footwork gets the Ohio State player past the Wolverine defender as they make a kick on net that will be way too high and way to the right.
A few wild shots tonight from the Buckeyes as they try to make something happen in front of the net.
Buckeyes seem to be getting close to the net, but can't seem to finish quite well. Not finding those players open in the ways that I imagine they want. You got players just taking powerful kicks downfield that are going well out of play. Some contact as the referee's whistle is blown. Number 6, Casey Lawrence, roughed up a little bit, but pops right up immediately back into play. Number 12 for the Wolverines, Sammy Woods, kicking the ball over, looking for a Wolverine to pass to as they struggle to get set up on offense with control of the ball. As the ball is passed right over to a Buckeye foot. Ball maintains in play at around midfield. Both teams vying for control of the ball. That will be number 2 on the Buckeyes, dribbling the ball downfield, getting past several defenders with a shot easily maintained by Wolverine goaltender Izzy Nino. Ball goes right into her hands. She barely needed to move. Catches it with ease. Pass the ball back into play for number 33 on the Wolverines. Is wearing the number 33, but that is not on our roster sheet. That's fine, though, as the ball will fall out of play. Izzy Nino taking the ball out of bounds. Score maintains 0-0. Wolverines with 1 shot on goal compared to the Buckeyes 6. But as we've said earlier, a lot of wild shots for the Buckeyes today. Not taking their best looks, but just looking for any real look, really, as Izzy Nino kicks the ball way downfield as it hits a Buckeye head and rolls out of bounds. Michigan possession for the throw-in.
A couple of wild shots are probably good for the Wolverines as Izzy Nino tries to find her groove in the net, as this is her first season despite being on the team for several years now. Due to the loss of our gold medal goalie, actually, Izzy Rivera, who left. She was a gold medalist for Canada, but Izzy Nino now finds herself on the field, trying to get her groundings and work with her defense. Tonight she's had a few moments of opportunity to show that she's definitely putting in the work and is ready to be the goaltender this team needs.
Wolverines making a few substitutions. Number 7, Meredith Hackinson, coming in as a midfield player for the Wolverines. Speaking of which, nearly kicks the ball out of bounds, but very well saved by number 3 on the Wolverines, Sammy Woods. Wolverines suddenly with some great looks over on the Ohio State side. Almost a great look by number 6. I gotta like squint my eyes and look, you know. It's number 6 on the Wolverines, Casey Lawrence, with a shot a little too high of the net.
It seems like once the Wolverines get possession, they're able to move down the field pretty quickly, but it's struggling to get that possession and keep it after that shot on net.
Very true. Both teams really struggling to finish.
Absolutely.
Seems Ohio State more successful and able to get the ball downfield, but unable to find, you know, the people there that they want.
It seems like the Wolverines are starting to put more pressure further up on the field, but it still manages to get through them as it makes its way back into the Wolverine area.
Wolverines, however, taking control. Some tussling happening again, called against the Buckeyes. Is number 6, again, Casey Lawrence, tripped up a little bit. As the Wolverines pass it back into play from number 12. Straddling around midfield here, 19 minutes left in the half. Big pass downfield into Buckeye territory. Wolverine and a Buckeye fighting for it. Wolverine, some fancy footwork, tries to pass it upfield towards the goalie, but it is blocked by an Ohio State defender and easily picked up by the goalie. Score remains 0-0, 18:45 remaining in the half. Buckeye goalie tossing it in as the ball already into Michigan territory. Buckeyes with a decent look at it. Number 19, some fancy footwork, covered up by Michigan defenders as they retake control. Some tussling happening there. This time going to be called.
That was some great defensive work by number 12, Tamia Tolbert, a sophomore defender.
Seems that it's going to be called against the Buckeyes again. Number 12 on the Wolverine squad, Tamia Tolbert, passes it back over to the goalie so the Wolverines can reset for a moment. Ball still on their own defensive side. Wolverines in control, but again,
struggling to make their way down the field.
Buckeyes got several players playing up, trying to steal the ball as they do, but the Wolverines will take back control. I believe a whistle going to be called again, this time against the Wolverines, as the Buckeyes take over control. About midway through Michigan territory. Buckeye goalie running up, calling some shots, getting some players into position. This is a very key moment for the Buckeyes if they wish to take an early lead here with about 17 and a half minutes remaining in the half. Passing it towards several players, but it is going to be kicked out of play by the Wolverines. Over to number 7 and back over to number 6, Hackinson to Lawrence. Dribbling, Lawrence slowly dribbling downfield, scouted by 2 Buckeye defenders. Pass it over to number 11, who launches it downfield, easily caught by the Buckeye goaltender.
Number 11 is Lily Farkas, one of the star shooters on our team with, I think, 67 shots already this season. She's definitely the one making a lot of moves in front of the net, but is having a hard time finishing as the Wolverines offensive is struggling to make a lot of moves in front of the net.
Certainly, both teams really struggling to get those looks they want at the net. Buckeyes at about the halfway mark had a really great shot on net that was well scouted by the Wolverine goalie. Score remains tied at 0. Neither team able to draw first blood as the Buckeyes with possession at about midfield, pass nearly wild, falling out of play, but the Buckeye defender is there, slowly dribbling the ball back into Buckeye territory to get the team reset.
The Wolverine soccer team is led by Jennifer Klein in her 5th season as head coach. They had an unprecedented season last year, winning the Big Ten championship. But due to the loss of 6 starters, this is definitely a fresh lineup and a fresh season. So these first few games are definitely critical to setting the tone for this season, I think. As the Wolverines look to have a similar season as last year. Their current record right now is definitely not what I think the Wolverines would hope for at 5-3-1 and a loss in their first game. But it's definitely these Big Ten games that are most important, so hopefully the Wolverines can come out today with a win and set the season on the right tone.
Both teams looking for a very important victory here. As we said, both teams coming off Big Ten play. Starting off Big Ten play with a loss. Ohio State against Rutgers, I believe it was.
Yes.
It was. And Michigan versus Maryland, I want to say.
It was Maryland. A tough loss against Maryland, for sure.
Michigan with possession of the ball, deep pass downfield, unfortunately gets past the Wolverines. Ball hopping out of play for a Buckeye throw-in. Deep over in Buckeye territory. Number 20 coming in for Ohio State as player can't make out. Number 9, I believe, for the Buckeyes coming out there, making some quick substitutions as the Buckeyes throw it in. Wolverines doing a full field press, as it would seem, trying to steal possession away from the Buckeyes and get a good shot on net. Time slowly dwindling down in this first half. Little over 14 minutes remaining. Bit of a trip up from the Buckeyes. No whistle called there as the Wolverines take possession and move it way downfield. Number 6 for the Wolverines with a great look on net. Unable to get a kick off as the Buckeye goalie comes up, scouting it well.
I'm surprised that the Wolverines aren't pushing up more. Number 6 was the only person in front of the net, surrounded by Buckeyes. I definitely think that the Wolverines need to push some more players to the front to help something happen in front of the net so we're not so outnumbered by Buckeyes.
Bit of a tussle happening here. Whistle called against the Wolverines. Buckeyes take control of the ball up on their end of the field. as the Buckeyes slowly travel downfield. Team number 33 for the Wolverines was afraid of a whistle being called, backed off for a moment, but immediately turned the pressure on when she saw that no whistle was blown as the ball falls out of play. It is going to be a corner kick, only the second corner kick of the day for the Buckeyes, third combined for both teams. Score is 0-0. Very key moment for the Buckeyes here. It feels like the Wolverines have been pushing back a lot with the corner kick caught immediately by the Wolverine goaltender. Unsuccessful use of the corner kick allows the Wolverines to hold back onto possession. Seems that the Wolverines have really been getting the better looks as the half rolls along. Stronger possession, moving the ball more downfield. Buckeyes really needed a moment to push back on that, and I'm not sure that's what they got with that corner kick. Regardless, score does remain tied at 0. Neither team able to make a mark in this game, in this very important game just yet. We imagine this will have very big implications as the season rolls on.
A little bit about this season so far. Michigan has had 2 7-goal efforts this season against Central Michigan in Toledo. And the last time the Maize and Blue scored 7 goals in 2 matches was the 2000 season. 7 goals is tied for the second most in a match in the program history. So they definitely have had a lot of games where they've proved that they can score and they can get in front of the net. So hopefully the Wolverines can show some of that here tonight.
Buckeyes holding on to control of the ball at about midfield. Slow dribbling happening. Soft passes as number 7 for the Wolverines move up as the Buckeyes choose to launch the ball deep into the right side corner. Ball will stay into play. A decent look on net but for the Buckeyes as they kick the ball. But no Buckeyes are there to take the shot. Number 5 for the Wolverines coming in right now. Number 5, Callie Burrell coming in for number 14, Danielle Wolf on the Wolverine squad. Buckeyes making some substitutions, multiple substitutions it would seem. I'm seeing 2 players come out for the Buckeyes.
Callie Burrell is one of the new players for the Wolverines, a freshman on part of this new lineup. As again, as I said before, 6 starters have left after last season. So this is definitely a new team, definitely a lot to figure out, and hopefully they can set the tone right here tonight.
Ball thrown into play by the Wolverines, but seemingly swapping hands of possession between Buckeyes and Wolverines. Ball stays at about the midfield circle. Buckeyes will slowly start to make the pressure. Number 19 for the Buckeyes with a decent look on net. Well scouted by the Wolverines. Stealing the pass to the front of the net and kicking it forward. Some tussling happening between number 5 on the Buckeyes and number 6 on the Wolverines. Called against the Wolverines. A quick pass able to catch them off guard from the Buckeyes. But it doesn't seem like too much is coming out of it. Yep. Definitely a scary moment there for Wolverine defenders, but Buckeyes unable to capitalize as the ball rolls to the Wolverine goaltender, throws it back in. 10 minutes remaining here in this first half.
I would love to see some aggression in these last 10 minutes from the Wolverines to hopefully get a goal on the board before the end of the half.
Both teams looking to make some kind of mark. Coming up on under 10 minutes remaining in the half. Buckeyes currently winning the shots on goal 6-3 over the Wolverines. But again, at the scoreboard, the only stat that surely matters, still tied at 0. Buckeyes managing to steal a pass from the Wolverines to steal it right back. Number 7, great pass over to the right side corner for the Wolverines. Trying to see any players that are set up potentially. But a sliding dive, and number 7 on the Wolverines kick just barely too high. That was, of course, Meredith Hackinson, number 7 on the Wolverines with a great shot on net after a great pass. Just a little too much juice on that one. Falls out of play. Buckeye goalie taking this one. Under 9 minutes remaining here in this half. Gorgeous fall night. Really feels like autumn just hit immediately. It was a warm summer day yesterday, and now suddenly I'm shivering in my t-shirt and jeans.
I'm pretty welcome to some cooler weather as it's been a hot start to the school year.
Certainly has. Buckeye pass deep downfield, intercepted by the Wolverines, who maintain control, but again, Buckeyes refusing to let up that defensive pressure as they retake control of it with a wild pass that goes straight to the Wolverine goaltender yet again.
Izzy Nino is showing a lot of aggression in front of the goal tonight, getting to the ball and getting it back out to her teammates quickly.
Trying to get something set up here. Players not quite in the position that Izzy or any of the other defenders would like. Again, possession swapping between the two teams as the Buckeyes suddenly with a great look towards the goal net and a shot wide and to the left. Rolls harmlessly out of bounds. No need for Nino to even get a hand on it. 7:40 remaining here in this half. Wolverine goaltender throwing it in to play.
The Buckeyes have definitely had a few more shots on goal tonight, but definitely some wild shots, I think, compared to the Wolverines, who had, I think, more of an opportunity in front of the net as they worked their way down there again.
Wolverines suddenly, number 3, almost after a deep pass downfield by the Wolverines. Looked like she maybe could have had a look at it on the right corner, but unfortunately stolen by a Buckeye defender. Passing it right downfield. Wolverine managed to get a chest on it, breaking up the pass, but she slips and falls as the ball rolls over to the right side, to more towards the press box, out of bounds on the Wolverines. Ohio State looking to throw this one deep in Michigan territory.
That was a smart clear out by player number 12, Tamia Talbert again.
Buckeyes looking to get something done here right before the half. Seems like the best opportunity they've had in a while. Nearly fumbled. Whistle called here. Not sure on what. But Buckeye attempting to get a decent look on net, but Izzy Nino comes out of the goal, getting her hands on it, breaking up the play before anything could develop. Didn't seem like a lot of those Ohio State players really knew exactly what was going on, weren't properly set up for what should have been a really great chance and opportunity on net. Wolverines maintaining control, coming up on about 6 minutes remaining here in this first half, still scoreless. Wolverine defenders slowly passing it off to each other. And a pass intercepted by number 20 from the Buckeyes, who passes it deep downfield, breaking up that very solid offensive chance.
Yeah, definitely some iffy passes from the Wolverines tonight. A lot of interceptions from the Buckeyes as the Wolverines struggle to get over to the offensive side of the field.
Wolverine goaltender maintaining control, trying to get the right pieces into play. She passes it over to number 12, Tamia Talbert. Back over to number 4, Margot Ridgway for the Wolverines. Passing it between defenders, coming up on about 5 minutes remaining in the half.
Some chanting from the audience as we try to give they try to give the Wolverines some energy to get something going here.
Slowly dribbling the ball downfield. Wolverines managing to get it into Ohio State territory, but a Buckeye defender is right there to break the play up. Seems the Buckeye defender there wanted possession of the ball, but they're not going to give it to them as the Wolverines make some substitutions. Number 19 coming out for the Wolverines, Kalita, as the Wolverines pass the ball in.
A beautiful pass.
A beautiful pass. Here's going to be a Wolverines good look. But again, just a little bit too much juice on it as it goes high over the net.
That was a beautiful pass from Lily Farkas, who found, I can't see what number it is on the other side of the field. Can you?
Not quite.
Okay.
Quick substitution made by the Wolverines. Kalita coming out for Vicky Jones, number 21, the freshman. Buckeyes holding on to possession of the ball. Wolverines trying to do a bit of a full field press, see if they can get control and hopefully get something going right before half. 4 minutes remaining, still scoreless. Wolverines intercepting a bit of a wild pass from the Buckeyes. Solid passes, solid possession control here by the Wolverines. They'll pass it deep downfield, but a Buckeye defender is right there. Put her head on it and break up anything before it can get going.
I think it's important for the Wolverines to try to get some of their freshmen on the field, as they're starting to learn what happens when they lose 6 of their starters and they have a brand new team. So kind of looking to keep that team strong for the next few years by getting those freshmen on the field with some experience, as we see them trying to do that tonight with a few sub-ins.
Wolverines with some great passing, some great possession, passing it way down the field over to number 6, unable to get her foot on it, nearly trips over the ball.
Again, the Wolverines are outnumbered in front of the goal.
Certainly has been the case tonight, as the Wolverines, as the Buckeyes manage to steal the ball away right in front of the Ohio State goaltender.
Definitely a lot more back and forth here at the end of the half, as both teams are aggressive to try to find something in front of the net.
2:45 remaining. Buckeyes with a corner kick here. Their third of the night. 4th combined from both teams. 2:30 now remaining in the half. Bit of confusion happening over there for the Buckeye corner kick. Buckeyes really trying to get something going, get on the board late here in this first half.
Definitely an important corner kick for the Buckeyes.
Could potentially be their last chance before the half. Here's the kick. Not seeming to go to anybody.
Beautifully cleared out by the Wolverines.
They pass the ball upfield. Still in Ohio State possession, but much further upfield. As the Wolverines stealing the ball away from the Ohio State player, holding on to control. Pass goes a little errant, but the Wolverines do manage to maintain control of it. And suddenly, on the far end of the field, there's a Wolverine player slowly dribbling the ball down, daring the Ohio State players to press up against her as the Wolverines enter Buckeye territory, coming up on about a minute 30 left in the half. So the Buckeyes get a foot on it, push it out of bounds so that the Buckeye defense can be reset. Wolverines passing the ball right in over to number 7 on the Wolverines. Back over. Ball is going to go out of play. Bit of an errant pass, nearly stopped by a Wolverine player, but unfortunately it does roll out. Ohio State possession, as they seem to be taking it just a little bit slow. I don't imagine either team is happy going into this half, tied up 0-0. But as the Buckeyes pass the ball out of bounds, less than a minute remaining, about 50 seconds left in the half. Seems that the Wolverines might try for one last push, try to get one last good look at the net. Time wasting as the Wolverines fail to throw it in. 40 seconds remaining in the half as he passes it into the backfield to number 12. Waiting for the Buckeye defender to come in before passing it way downfield into Ohio State territory. Number 3 with
Beautiful
a great
pass
kick over to
from
number
Sammy
6.
Woods.
Over to number 7. Facing the wrong way with possession of the ball, but unable to get a good look on the net. Very well defensively played by the Buckeyes.
The Buckeyes' defense in front of the net tonight has definitely been really strong, making it difficult for the Wolverines to get anything.
15 seconds, Wolverines intercepting a stoppage of play. Number 11 trying to get something going. 5 seconds remaining in the half, and it seems that is going to do it. A bit of an exciting play there as play was blown dead by the referee. Fans disagreeing with how slow the Buckeyes were to take it. And despite stealing the pass, Buckeyes are able to come back into possession as that ends our first half here. We remain scoreless in Ann Arbor. Wolverines 0, Ohio State also 0. 5 shots on net for the Wolverines and 1 corner kick compared to the 3 corner kicks the Buckeyes have had and 7 shots on net. What are our first half thoughts? How are we feeling?
Yeah, I definitely think that the Buckeyes have a really strong defense in front of the net, but I think as they obviously have spent more time on their own offensive side, they've had some wild shots, and I think that they should definitely take some time over there to settle so that instead of having those wild shots that go way off net, they can take the time to figure something else out. And the Wolverines, they definitely need to find out how to get more of their players in front of the net, because it seems like it's always one girl in the front fighting to try to get the ball in. So I imagine that that's definitely in the talks right now in the locker room about reevaluating the offensive line for the Wolverines and for the Buckeyes.
So now halftime entertainment being youth scrimmage here in Ann Arbor as both teams rest for 15 minutes for the start of the second half. Thank you so much for listening. So we're about to transition over to our second half hosts, Neal and Ali. Thank you so much for listening. My name has been Ryan Dolson.
And I've been KG Foley. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Transitioning over to our halftime analysts who will give you their thoughts on that first half by the Wolverine squad, as well as their predictions and hopes for the second half.
Hello, everybody, and welcome live to WCBN's coverage of Michigan women's soccer. My name is Neal Sinha, and I'll be your play-by-play commentator for the second half. I'm joined alongside with Ali Houmani. Ali, what did you see in that first half? We have a tied game 0-0 here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, between the Michigan Wolverines and Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yep, my name's Ali Houmani. I'm glad to be here with you guys tonight. Michigan started out slow tonight. They picked it up towards the end of the half, but they've been struggling back indeed. They've created a few good chances up top. Casey Lawrence has been phenomenal, as long as Sammy Woods. They've got a lot of mistakes to clean up back there. Neal, what do you think?
I mean, I completely agree. I think that one glaring issue that I've seen so far is the Wolverines haven't held onto the ball. It seems like Ohio State has been fantastic and very concise with their passing in that first half. Michigan, meanwhile, has been sloppy. They've been just throwing it around. I mean, they've had a lot of set pieces, whether that's been free kicks, whether it's been even one corner that they had. I mean, they're kind of just kicking it around with no purpose right now. How do you, as Jennifer Klein, the head coach of this Michigan team, how do you fix that? Like, what do you tell your team at halftime?
Well, I think you got to calm your players down. I think Anaya League back there has been struggling. I think Casey Lawrence has to drop back and help on D. And when they do get the ball, I think they need to play through Avery. Avery's been doing a great job back there, Avery Colito. She's playing as their 6 right now, and she's been doing very good at distributing the ball, but she's had 3 turnovers this half. So limiting those as much as possible is going to be key. Being able to find those hot pockets that they've been doing all week in practice. Trying to play the ball into their wingers and behind. You know, the space has been there every time. And I think they're going to do that this half. I think Coach Jen just really has to calm them down. I think there's a lot of nerves going on right now.
I agree, and this is a Michigan team that had certainly a lot of success last year, and whether they like it or not, that's what they have been compared to all off season and all so far this season. That was a Michigan team last season that ran the table at the Big Ten tournament. They won the Big Ten tournament. They finished with an overall record of 18-4-4, and they reached all the way to the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament with a loss to Florida State in Tallahassee, Florida. And so how do you deal with all of the comparisons of last year? I know that they lost a lot of starters. This is a much younger Michigan team than I guess they had last year. How do you, as Jennifer Klein, kind of get a lot of these younger players that don't have as much experience, how do you get them going in these early season matchups?
Well, I think this team is definitely different from the team they had last year. You know, they graduated a lot of seniors. They lost 2 of their assistant coaches, so it is a new coaching staff. I think they've done a great job bringing in Coach Torrey, their goalkeeper coach, and then Coach Sammy Boateng from Western Michigan, and they've been great additions to the squad. But the truth is that they've lost a lot of players, and I think they've done a good job filling in the gaps. You know, they lost Jade to a season-ending injury, a gold medal Olympian. I think Anaya League has filled in that gap pretty well. Maybe not as well tonight, but I think they've done a good job filling in those gaps, and I have a lot of confidence in Coach Jen continuing forward throughout the season. There are high hopes for this squad, especially considering that Big Ten performance. But this is a veteran squad, you know. They had just one freshman starting in their starting 11. There are a lot of juniors that are returning now as seniors. And I think they do have the potential to make another deep run, but it starts tonight with getting this win against a rival.
Most definitely. And so, like we said at the top of the broadcast, the Wolverines are 5-3-1. They had a tie earlier this season against number 19 Colorado, or at least at the time, number 19 Colorado. And the Wolverines have kind of struggled to get their momentum going so far this season with losses to Butler 1-0, Iowa State 3-2, and Maryland just last week 1-0. This is just the second conference game of the season for the Wolverines here at We Don't Talk About Brutus Night. They'll be playing the Nebraska Cornhuskers on Sunday. And Ali, it kind of seems like with the way that their Big Ten schedule has been set up that they're not really going to get too many big tests early in conference play. This is certainly a good matchup for them. But does that set them up for success when you have, a lot of maybe new starters and so on? Is it better to get their rhythm going earlier against or not as good competition, I should say?
I think it's a little too early to start looking ahead to competition. I definitely know the spirits in those locker rooms. They've been looking forward to this game all week. They've been talking about it all week, and they're really looking forward to get those freshmen some playing minutes, those sophomores some playing minutes, and get them just adjusted to Big Ten play. This is much different than non-conference. Stakes are high. You're playing for a Big Ten spot right now. So if those players aren't focused on this OSU game, they should be, and I believe they are. So we'll see how they come out this half.
Most definitely. And right now, at halftime, we have the youth scrimmages going on here at Michigan. A bunch of the girls' soccer teams in the area just having a couple scrimmages on the field. I think it's a great little event that they got going on here. They do this type of thing in field hockey and some other sports. A great idea by the Michigan Athletics program. But once again, it is 0-0 here in Ann Arbor between the Michigan women's soccer team and the Ohio State Buckeyes. And we have about 8 minutes left until the second half gets underway. Once again, you're listening to WCBN's broadcast of Michigan women's soccer. And so, Ali, when you look at the second half, I know, you're going to get a lot of questions today of how do you score goals, how do you end up winning this game. Is there a specific tactic that you're looking at for the second half, or maybe a specific player that needs to step it up in the second half, whether it's using the widths, whatever it is? What are you looking at for Michigan to get on the board here in the second half?
Well, I touched on it a bit earlier, but I think if I had to think back to the first half, the one moment I'd pick is towards the end where they had Lily Farkas play a beautifully slipped-in ball over the defense down into Casey Lawrence, who was on the right flank. And she played a beautiful ball in that was just touched over by Danny Wolf. But I think that is the key right there is, can you find the space in behind the defense? It's there every time, it's open. So if they can pick out those moments, when to play those deep balls and when to keep possession, I think they're going to find success this half. I think both teams have been struggling to keep possession. It's been a fair split in possession. The Wolverines have to settle down and wait and be patient. I think patience is the key this half. Can they wait and pick out those moments where they can play those slipped-in balls into their wingers? And I think the wingers have been doing a great job of finding Danny in the mid, finding Sammy in that 6-yard box. It's just a matter of getting a shot on goal now. They've had just 5 shots this half. So can we get more shots on goal and test that keeper? I think it's gonna play a big role this half.
And specifically with Sammy Woods, their leading goal scorer on this season. She has 7 goals in just 9 games played for the Wolverines. How do you get her going as she plays, like you said, right wing, sometimes striker? How do you get her going? Because she's had a couple of solid runs so far in this game, but maybe there's been too many defenders for OSU in the box. How do they kind of free up space for her?
Well, I would not be surprised if the night finishes tonight and we see Sammy Woods has a couple goals. I think she shows some great spurts of explosiveness. She's picked out teammates and she's taken players one-on-one when she's needed to. So she has 7 goals this season, like you mentioned. She has 3 braces. So I really expect her to turn it up tonight in the second half, and I think she's going to come out with a few goals. So it's just a matter of those teammates finding her feet and let her work her magic.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a Michigan team that so far has struggled a little bit at times of putting the ball in the net against good competition, against teams like Washington State, Colorado included there, Maryland certainly. They haven't really been able to score many goals, and so that's certainly something that Jen Klein has been looking at to turn around in this second half. Is once again, it's a goal-scoring problem. It's 0-0, but how about the back line for Michigan? It seemed like the right winger, right mid for Ohio State, Emma Sears, has been absolutely dominating that half of the field against pretty much a Nia League every time. What do you change if you're Jennifer Klein there?
I think you got to tell Casey that left wing on Anaya's side to drop back. I think Anaya really needs help. If Casey can tuck back into that mid, pick up that number 10 who's getting on the ball and playing that ball in behind Anaya. I think that'll allow Anaya to close that space down behind her. So it's a matter of either Casey dropping back or one of those midfielders just giving Anaya support. It's been a 2v1 every time on that side. They've been overloading her. It's clear OSU's game plan is to attack Anaya. So I think Coach Jen has realized that, and I think they're going to make that change at half. And I certainly hope they do, because it is a big point. But shifting gears, I think the center backs have been doing an amazing job this half. Margot Ridgway, a graduate transfer, she's been stepping up big time. She's been a dominant force in the middle of the park there. And then Tamia Tolbert, a returning player, has been doing amazing. I think she's definitely been helping out Anaya when that ball slips in behind. Same thing with Sarah Bridenstine on the other side. They've been doing a great job there. Sarah's also looked very dangerous going forward. So I think the defense certainly struggled a little bit, especially in the early part of that first half. But those outside backs have been doing a great job pushing forward and creating chances, helping their forwards out.
Yeah, and it certainly seems like you said, there haven't been too many great opportunities for the Buckeyes of Ohio State. They've had 7 shots, 3 of them being on goal. But they haven't really tested Izzy Nino too much so far. Kayla Fisher has been relatively decent for the Buckeyes up top. If you're Ohio State, let's say on the flip side then, if you're Ohio State and the Buckeyes, how do you get on the board here in the second half?
Well, they've tested Izzy a few times. Izzy's done a great job turning up and making those saves, but honestly, if they can continue to find those balls in behind those outside backs, I think Michigan definitely needs to close those gaps. OSU has been doing a great job the first half of slipping those balls in behind and possessing the ball when they needed to. They've been sloppy at times, especially in the later half, but in the beginning of that first half, that possession was definitely lopsided. Ohio State did a great job possessing the ball. So I think if they can come out and be patient, more patient than Michigan can, find their midfielders and play through their 6, Kina Floater from Norway has been doing an amazing job in that playing in that 6th position. She's been finding her midfielders, finding those wingers. So can Danny Wolf, Michigan striker, close her down and obviously continue shadowing her all night? I don't think OSU will be able to push forward and get a goal, but we'll see how it turns out with that.
Yeah, a little bit of a shout out there for the old Hometown Heroes segment that we used to do here on WCBN for our FM broadcast. Shout out to Nabil Bayek. He used to always do the Hometown Heroes. He'd list off these crazy hometowns, and that one just had me thinking of Kleina Floater there with a hometown from Norway. I'm not even going to pronounce the city name there, but how about that? 2 minutes to go left in this halftime between the Michigan Wolverines and Ohio State. The teams are now running back onto the field and getting warmed up again. Once again, Michigan 5-3-1, looking for their first in-conference win. They lost last week to Maryland 1-0 in their first game in Big Ten play, and so there's no doubt this would mean a lot for this team. When you look ahead, and it's a little early to look ahead, but when you do look ahead at this schedule for Michigan, they have a 3-game stretch later in this year where they play Penn State, Rutgers, and Northwestern. Ali, that's a Penn State team, by the way, that, as we just saw the score, beat Rutgers today. How difficult is that stretch going to be for Michigan?
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult stretch. Ohio State played Rutgers last week, their first conference game, and they lost against an undefeated Rutgers team who, as you said, lost today, so no longer undefeated. They're 9-1 now. But the Big Ten has got some incredibly talented teams, young teams, and future's definitely bright for these squads. So going ahead, I think Michigan needs to manage the roster. They definitely run thin, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So can they keep their players healthy? Are these players getting checked out with their trainers? Recovery. So the recovery tomorrow needs to be a good one. It's going to be an intense game. It's going to go down to the wire. So and these starters are playing the majority of the game. As you noticed, we only saw 3 or 4 substitutions last half. So can they keep their players healthy? And I believe in these seniors and these juniors to pull through for the rest of the season, because they got it all now that they're fighting for. So.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point that I think I hadn't even really thought of, that they are playing on Sunday against the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and so You have, just 2 days of rest before that game. And, one thing that you mentioned to me before this game was that they're extremely thin at especially center back. That they brought in Margot Ridgway, the transfer. But other than that and Tamia Tolbert, they don't really have much depth there. So that's certainly something to watch out for. 45 minutes will be in the second half. They just put up the time here on the scoreboard in Ann Arbor. And we're getting ready to go underway. Both teams in their halftime huddles getting ready to walk out.
Yep, Danny's doing a good job getting her team ready right now down there. They're all hyped and they're ready to get after it as they take the field.
Most definitely. Izzy Nino will be the goalkeeper once again for the second half, as she'll be running out right now. Looks like pretty much the exact same lineup that the Wolverines had, with Tamia Tolbert in the back with Margot Ridgway. Holding the flanks is Anaya League, as well as Sarah Bridenstine.
Yeah, I think the one substitution they have is they kept Callie. She was Callie Burrell. She finished the half there. I think she's going to return and play as a winger. That seems to be the only substitution this half.
Yeah, and no, that's a very good point, actually, because I don't see Sammy Woods on the field. Why do you think that is as we get ready for the kickoff?
I definitely, she played most of that half, so I think she definitely needs a couple minutes break. I think maybe Coach Jen has seen something that she wants to take note of in that Ohio State team, and maybe give Sammy some specific instructions that she can go out there maybe in about 10 or 15 minutes or so and take advantage of this.
Yeah. As we get underway in Ann Arbor in the second half, the Wolverines right away steal the ball from the kickoff. It's number 10 for Michigan, Hannah Blake. Dribbling it up. Blake looking for Danielle Wolf, gets stolen. Michigan has struggled with possession here. Here comes Ohio State now on the left wing. Buckeyes number 2, Kayla Fisher, has been very active so far this game. She goes back to Floater.
Yeah, Floater has too much time on the ball right now. I think Danny needs to get back to pressing her, making sure she can't play and distribute.
Number 16 for the Buckeyes, Jones Black with the ball. She goes back to Lonnie Barnett, who then sends it forward. Michigan kind of chasing around the ball right now. Extra pass by the Buckeyes to the top of the box. Goes nowhere as an I-League just clears it out. Flota now, left back. James Black. Up to number 7, Giannotta for Ohio State. Here's Kayla Fisher trying one from distance outside the box, just right in the hands of Izzy Nino. Not too much will get by Michigan's goalkeeper, Izzy Nino. It's going to have to be a very good shot, you would have to think.
Yeah, she's a graduate student, comes in with a lot of experience. She's been with this team for 6 years, so she's definitely learned a lot from prior goalkeepers, and she's ready here tonight.
Buckeyes very strong on the ball. And here comes Emma Sears with the shot up the right end, just straight out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Michigan.
See, Neal, those are those turnovers we were talking about limiting. Those turnovers in the middle of the field are going to be crucial. And Ohio State's a very good countering team, so you've got to limit those turnovers.
Most definitely. Margot Ridgway gets the goal kick. Finds it up to Mia Telbo. Up the left wing to Nia League. She plays it forward. Kicked out of bounds by the Buckeyes. It'll be a Michigan throw-in. Casey Lawrence will take it. To Danielle Wolf. Back to Lawrence. Buckeyes get a steal on the ball, but back to Nia League. And Michigan will reset here with their back line. Ridgway now sends it up the right end to Sarah Bridenstine. Bridenstine cuts in. Looking, finds Callie Burrell. Not really much doing for Michigan right here. Ridgway back up to Bridenstine. Bridenstine dribbling it up the right end.
So already a very good job by Michigan, not forcing a turnover, keeping possession. They've been doing a good job of that so far this half. Hopefully they can keep it going.
Wolverines send it in with the throw to Danielle Wolf. Nothing really doing there in the box. Avery Kilutta with the ball. Back to Ridgway. Kilutta now. Finds Hannah Blake. She looks up the left sideline for Nia League. It ends up getting to her. Wolverines still have it. Casey Lawrence with the ball. Sends it into Hackinson. Hackinson looking back for Lawrence, and it goes straight to the Buckeyes goalkeeper, Kat Robinson. That's a graduate senior for Ohio State, Catherine Robinson from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Buckeyes now holding possession with their back line. Olivia Sensky sends it forward up to Anaya League, who then goes right to a Buckeyes player. Now Casey Lawrence gets it back for Michigan, sends it all the way back to Margot Ridgway, and Michigan's going to try their luck on the right sideline. Bridenstine now sends it forward to Burrell, gets stolen by Jones Black. Deflection out of bounds. The referee says it's Michigan ball. Bridenstine will take the throw.
Yeah, they've definitely seemed like they've been attacking this right flank so far, Michigan. I think Sarah's been doing a good job of keeping possession, so I wonder if that's the game plan coming out of the half from Coach Jen.
Nino now with the ball in her own box. Sends it to Tamia Tolbert. Dribbling up, finds Anaya League, Forward ball to Danielle Wolf. Can she get there? Battling with the Buckeyes defender. The shot over the goal. Oh, my goodness.
You know, that's the ball we've been talking about, Neil. That ball over behind. Danny did a great job getting on top of it. That's what we need to see more from Michigan this half.
I was absolutely shocked that she one-timed that, but she had a defender at her back. I'm assuming it was Olivia Sensky, the center back for the Buckeyes, and that actually had a shot. I mean, literally just 2-3 inches above the crossbar there for Michigan.
I mean, if that Ohio State goalkeeper going to get those fingertips to that ball would have been in the back of the net.
Michigan getting set here on the corner. Anaya League sends it in from the center. Ooh, right above Catherine Robinson's hands, but it was just left of the goal. It'll be another Michigan corner. They're saying Robinson tipped it.
You know, that corner kick play they've been working on all week in practice, so it's interesting to see it executed now on the field.
Do you like them sending it that far back, though, to Anaya League, kind of holding sweeper position?
It definitely draws out the defense, you know, and then you have the opportunity for those forwards to make that run in behind, assuming that they can hold that line.
This time they try their luck from the left side. Bridenstine sends it in, and the Buckeyes manage to clear it out. It'll be a Michigan throw. Bridenstine stuck on the left side for now. Hannah Blake dribbling it up with a lot of time. Switches the field over to Callie Burrell. A lot of Buckeyes around her, not really many Michigan players. Burrell trying to find something up the right wing.
She needs to hold it up here, wait for some support. She's able to get a corner.
Well done by Burrell. She sends it in, but it gets deflected off of Jones Black. It'll be another Michigan corner. That's already 3 Michigan corners this half. They had just 1 in the first.
Definitely upping the pressure here. It'll be interesting to see if they go with the same play, though.
Looks like it'll be Casey Lawrence sending it in. She whips it in. Michigan got ahead on the ball, but nothing really doing there. Great job by the Buckeyes defender, Talani Barnett. Michigan now gets it back on their own end.
Great recovery run from this area there to help clean things up in the back.
Nia League now has it back to Margot Ridgway. Back to League. League to Kalida. Now to the right back. Tamia Tolbert sends it forward, but just straight into Jones Black's possession for Ohio State. She then plays it back to her goalkeeper, Catherine Robinson. Buckeyes are content on just playing possession. They've been doing that all night. Jones Black now. Back to Barnett. Barnett sends it forward into their center mid. What a great ball.
Into miles of space there.
Buckeyes were looking for Kayla Fisher at the top. Nothing doing. Michigan gets the ball back, sends it up the left wing, and here come the Wolverines. Casey Lawrence trying to make a play, and she gets thrown to the ground.
A tough foul there
by Sensky.
She's able to pick up the foul just on the outside of the box. It'll be interesting to see who they put on the ball here. What do you think, Neil? You think they go for goal here, or do you think they get a cross in?
I think it's got to be a cross, you would think, right? From that angle?
It's going to be tough, but I don't think they can go for a shot. The angle's too tight, but you never know. Maybe catch the goalkeeper out.
I agree. The referee doing a little bit of housekeeping right now, making sure the defenders are 10 yards back.
You always want to watch Michigan with those plays. Maybe they played it to the top of the box to get a shot in.
Yep.
Keep an eye on that.
The official blows the whistle, a direct free kick. Sends it in. Wolverines looking for a header. Do not get one. It's punched out by Robinson. I believe that was Margot Ridgway that ran straight into Catherine Robinson, and the officials do call it a foul on the Wolverines, and the Buckeyes will have a free kick, pretty much a goal kick from where they're at. Robinson sends it into Sensky out wide to Sydney Jones. Jones back to Sensky. Sensky sends it forward up to Emma Sears, who had a great first half working against the League. Buckeyes now number 9 with the sends it forward. Emma Sears up the right edge, draws a throw in.
You know, the Wolverines continue to look shaky coming into this second half, especially on the back line. Tamia's been doing a great job covering, though.
Buckeyes, Sydney Jones with it. Whips it into the final third. Buckeyes with a shot here, possibly 21. No. Good save by Izzy Nino. Michigan has it back with Casey Lawrence now back to Anaya League. And League gets a little bit of a hip check, the Michigan ball.
They're definitely looking to play quick. You can tell the intensity's up here. They're really looking for a goal.
Ridgway looking for the deep through ball, but just sends it right to excuse me, forgot the name there, Talani Barnett.
You know, I think that's where Michigan really needs to have patience. That ball coming from the back line, it can't be given away so cheaply.
Michigan gets possession back. Hannah Blake, oh, what a nice little bit of footwork.
Nice piece of skill there.
Wow. And then a handball by the Buckeyes. It'll be Michigan ball near midfield. What a little flick to the back heel forward. I don't even know what you call that, but that was nice from Hannah Blake.
Blake is definitely a talented midfielder there, coming all the way from New Zealand. She's picked up some skills from the out back.
Coletta sends it into League. Deflection forward, and Buckeyes have it again. Sensky sends it forward. Buckeyes were looking for Kayla Fisher once again, but instead Michigan regains possession with Bridenstine. She finds her teammate, Burrell, back to Ridgway. Ridgway now will reset back to Nino.
Good streak of possession here coming from the Wolverines. Let's see if they can get on the end of anything.
Tolbert now from Michigan. Was looking for a deep pass. Gets deflected off Emma Sears. Then out of bounds will be a Michigan throw, and Iowa League will take it. 0-0 here in Ann Arbor with 33 minutes to go between the Michigan Wolverines and Ohio State Buckeyes. You're listening to WCBN's coverage of Michigan women's soccer. Deep throwing by Michigan goes straight into the feet of the Buckeyes. Barnett at midfield. Buckeyes just passing it around. Sensky now switches the field. Out left to Jones Black. Jones Black holding it. Finds forward to Kayla Fisher. Fisher tries making the run inside. Gets knocked down, and the official does make the call.
You know, a careless foul there by Avery Coletta. They had 3 Wolverines around that ball. There's no need to make that foul now. Ohio State has a great opportunity to whip a ball in.
Looks like it'll be number 10. Kine Flota will take it for Ohio State.
Margot Ridgway, definitely the tallest person in that box.
Whips it in, looking for a deep header, and this one will go straight out of bounds.
Fortunate that ball went over everybody there.
Wasn't a bad ball, but yeah, as you said, just a little too long. Michigan gets a goal kick. Nino to Ridgway. Ridgway to Bridenstine. Ridgway now. Burrell. Hannah Blake back to Ridgeway. Kalita playing back a little bit. She finds Tamia Tolbert.
Great patience on the ball there from the Wolverines, not forcing a ball up.
Tolbert dribbling it up towards midfield. Has it stolen. Here comes Ohio State.
Tamia's had 5 turnovers so far this half. They've got to be limited, especially as a center back.
McNamara for the Buckeyes turns it over. Sounds weird saying McNamara for the Buckeyes.
That it does.
And Ohio State now will just reset it back to Catherine Robinson. Not too much pressure from the Wolverines.
Thinking of the wrong football there, Neal.
Yeah, Cade McNamara, Peyton McNamara, they are not related, folks. Speaking of Peyton McNamara, she has the ball now. Just past midfield for Ohio State, goes back to Jones Black. Kayla Fisher now, left wing. Good little end around pass. And here come the Buckeyes, number 7 sends it in, and no goal, deflection out of bounds.
Looking dangerous there. Good thing Timmy was able to close down that space, or else that would have been an open shot for the Buckeyes.
A little flick by Gianola for Ohio State that was then deflected out of bounds. Kalita now for Michigan after the goal kick. Ridgeway sends it forward to Burrell, but it goes straight to the hands of Jones Black. Flotra, Jones Black. Sensky now. Looking forward and goes straight to Bridenstine, and Michigan turns it over once again. Is that a ball, Ali, that you'd like to see maybe another touch and just hold on to it better?
Yeah, that is a careless mistake there. She's forcing the ball into 4 Wolverines essentially. Both teams need to do a better job of keeping possession and picking their moments to go forward.
Most definitely. Kalita now near midfield. Seems like Michigan's just really been kicking it around very carelessly, but we'll see if that changes.
And very interesting right now. You have Hannah making a good run down the flank.
Casey Lawrence had it, gets deflected, and Ohio State gets it right back. Buckeyes, not too many forward. Michigan gets it back with Hackinson.
Great expertise and patience there from Meredith, keeping possession of the ball.
Out wide, Burrell. Bridenstine's making the run. Deflected to Bridenstine. Burrell has it back. Kalita, pressure coming.
What a
Whips
ball
it out left.
there.
Wide open is Casey Lawrence for Michigan. Excuse me, not Casey Lawrence, Hannah Blake. Buckeyes get it right back, though, and clear it out of bounds. It'll be a Michigan throw about halfway down the Ohio State half.
Avery Kalita did a great job there picking the ball down into the left wing. Hannah Blake was in miles of space there. Could have been a serious opportunity to come out of that.
And a sub for Michigan is Sammy Wolf will be coming on for Callie Burrell. Looks like she'll be playing the right wing, right mid position for now. She sometimes is playing more at striker.
She caused a lot of trouble there on the right wing earlier in the first half. So let's see if she can get back into it.
Ooh, Ridgeway had a risky touch, then Meg's Kayla Fisher. Here comes Bridenstine now up the right end. Sammy Wolf gets her first touch back in. Bridenstine now. Can she make a cross? Looking for her teammates. Couple of passes that end up just going right to Catherine Robinson. Once again, 0-0 here. Nothing doing so far in this Michigan-Ohio State women's soccer game. 27:50 to go in the second half. Buckeyes now. Jones Black on the left back position.
Michigan's been struggling to create opportunities. Ohio State, credits to them. They've been doing a great job. They've already had 3 big chances.
Here come the Wolverines. Looking for a through ball was Hackinson for Danielle Wolf, who then steals it right back. Wolf, great bit of effort there. Michigan trying to get set up. Hackinson sends a through ball to the winger. Sammy Wolf will try to make a pass. It gets deflected out of bounds. It'll be Michigan's 4th corner of this half, their 5th of the game. And we have 2 more subs coming on for the Wolverines. It'll be number 17, Emily Layson for Ridgeway. And number 11, Lily Farkas will be coming on for Hannah Blake.
It's going to be interesting to see how Layson can fit into that center back position. She's not a natural center back. She played center defensive mid last year, so definitely a big change for her as her senior year comes up.
A shallow cross gets whipped in. Michigan then just turns it over. My goodness, that was sloppy. Buckeyes now. I don't know what that pass was from Gianola there. She didn't have any teammates up. Michigan has it right back. Lily Farkas getting her first touches back in the game. So Layson not being a, usual center back, how does that change the strategy here? Are they playing more aggressively?
I think if OSU can pick up on that, then yeah, but I think Layson, if she can do a good job of managing her positioning, that's the biggest thing. She's done a good job of it so far this season. Definitely showed the coaches that she can play anywhere on this field, So hopefully Ohio State will be able to pick up on that.
Speaking of Layson, she finds Farkas in the middle. Kalita looking out wide for Bridenstine. Short pass forward to Hackinson, who then finds Sammy Wolf. Can she get there? No. Gets deflected out of bounds by Barnett for Ohio State, the center back. Woods. Or excuse me, that's Hackinson now at the corner, and Michigan gets yet another corner.
I do want to see them do that play that they used initially on that second corner kick, where they dropped it back into Neal Sinha, getting a ball in, almost found the top left corner. See if they do it again.
Nia League is kind of holding her position more so in the middle of the field. This one will be crossed in. Michigan looking for a player. Header up in the air. Robinson goes up and gets it for Ohio State.
Nia League was calling for that ball. She really wanted it there, but they went ahead and crossed it in. Good collection from the goalie.
Robinson just bouncing the soccer ball. Punts it forward up to Nia League, who then gets a big header on it. Danielle Wolf couldn't get a touch on it. She was offsides, and so the Buckeyes ball back with Robinson now.
Yeah, she's got to track back there, Danny. That's got to be one she gets on the end of.
Sensky goes out to the right. Now Flotra looking around. Sydney Jones trying to tell her where to go. Here comes McNamara. Sensky, Barnett. Barnett to McNamara, back to Sensky. Daniel Wolf putting pressure on the ball, gets a boot on it, but the Buckeyes will just reset back to Kat Robinson. Barnett sends it forward. Finds her teammate, that was number 21 for the Buckeyes, Dudukovic, with the ball now. Goes forward to Sears. Gianola, Fisher, back turn to the goal. She turns around. Fisher trying to find something. And we get a call on the Buckeyes. It'll be Michigan ball.
Sammy Woods dropping back to defend there, and she gets tripped up inside her own box.
Woods struggling to tie her shoe there, but she gets up. No injury, thankfully.
She's going shoelaces like Denard right now.
Is that the nickname we're giving her?
I think we should start doing that. Make it a thing.
Yeah. Layson now with it. Near the left sideline, whips it into the center. That's Casey Lawrence. Back up to Izzy Nino.
I got to say, Neal, I've been very impressed with both these goalies' performance and distribution. Kat Robinson and Izzy Nino have been doing a great job this half, keeping their teams in the game.
Yeah, I agree. No big mistakes so far. Oh, a deflected ball forward, and I thought Hackinson might be able to get there. She doesn't. The Buckeyes clear it out for safekeeping just for the moment. Michigan will have a throw-in in the final third. It's Casey Lawrence, number 6 for the Wolverines. They'll be taking it. A sub will be coming on for Michigan. Hackinson will be coming off, and Jenna Lang, the freshman, will be coming on to the midfield.
Jenna Lang's got a lot of potential as a freshman, like you said. She's filling in big shoes in Meredith Hackinson. Let's see if she can step up to the plate.
Oh, what a ball in! Oh my goodness! Sammy Woods got a cleat on it. Just missed the right post.
That's all she needs. A split second in this game can get flipped on its head. That's what Sammy Woods brings to every game she's in.
Unbelievable pass in by the Wolverines there. Michigan, Kalita fighting for it. Gets it back. Woods now. Kalita goes to the center mid. That's Jenna Lang getting her first touches on the ball. Anaya League now. Lang. Kalita. Looking for the deep through ball to Sammy Woods. She gets a cleat on it. Tried cutting back in, but Jones Black is there. Buckeyes get it back. Barnett. Buckeyes keeping it on the sideline right here.
Great turn from Timmy Tolbert there to get out of pressure.
Kalita now near midfield. Try getting back heel on it, and then gets it right back. Kalita with a good bit of fight right there. Trying to find teammate. Finds Jenna Lang.
Great composure there from Avery.
Farkas steps into the center field, then shot up at the goal, and it hits the crossbar. Robinson had it covered.
Lily Farkas has scored a few of those long-range goals this season. She almost got another one there.
My goodness, the Wolverines are starting to really get some good chances here. Kalita near midfield. Goes back to Layson. Layson whips it forward. It's Casey Lawrence now with the ball for Michigan. Has it stolen by Buckeyes number 10, Flotra. Barnett to Jones Black. Jones Black, little give and go action. And Jones Black is up the left end now. Cuts it in. Little touch on the ball by the Buckeyes there in the box. Gets stolen back by Layson, and Michigan has it with Casey Lawrence with a great saving of the ball there on the left sideline.
Great positioning there by Emily Layson to win the ball back in her own box. Careless giveaway here, but Jenna Lang is able to get back onto it.
Layson back to Nino. Nino, Tolbert. Kalita. Trying to find through ball. Sammy Woods was calling for it, and she'll get the pass. It's actually to Danielle Wolf, who's trying to body her defender with the ball. Unable to hold on to it. Great bit of defending by Barnett.
How close was that, Neal, to going through?
It was very close, and Sammy Woods, I think, thought it was for her. Here come the Buckeyes now. On the other end, Emma Sears, been testing them all night. Holding onto it on the right wing. Dribbling it on the right side of the box, trying to find a teammate. A little fake cross, and Michigan gets it back. Casey Lawrence is just going to maybe hit this one out of bounds as the ball is just rolling on the line, and there we go.
You know, that's the support we were talking about, and Nia League needs help on that left side, and she got it there from Avery, who was able to drop back in and win the ball back.
Number 20 for the Buckeyes will be coming on Maddie Lowe. That's in place for number 10, Keena Flotra.
You know, you can really see the urgency from the coaches on the sideline giving instructions to their players. Coach Boateng, new to this team, really been finding his groove with these players getting connected.
Sensky for the Buckeyes. Pressing pretty far up, looking for Kayla Fisher. She gets ahead on the ball. Tried finding a teammate in the middle of the box, but nobody was there. Michigan just clears it with Emily Layson. It'll be a Buckeyes throw. Buckeyes working the ball around now. That's a number 20, Maddie Lowe, onto the game for Ohio State. Whips it back to Jones Black. Great turn right there by Gianola, but then has it stolen by Danielle Wolf. Michigan doesn't really have numbers here. Sammy Woods then loses it.
Careless giveaway there in the middle of the park. This could be crucial for the Wolverines.
Kayla Fisher now, great tackle by Kalita, and then a great little turn too.
Let's see if Sammy can keep possession of the ball. It's been a long time now before they've had a good streak of possession.
A little bit of passing by Michigan. Lily Farkas looking for the through ball. I don't know if that was the play there.
No, they've been dumping the ball forward to Danny all half, and it hasn't really been working out for them. I really want to see these Wolverines get on the ball and be patient. They haven't showed that yet this half.
Farkas now gets a steal on Barnett, and then gets thrown to the ground. We have a yellow card for Talani Barnett, number 4, the center back for the Buckeyes.
You know, first yellow card of the game. and that was already a big spot that the Wolverines wanted to attack the OSU Buckeyes. They really wanted to punish their left back, and now they have a yellow card, so I suspect that they'll keep going down that side now. Maybe try to draw the Buckeyes into another yellow card.
The freshman Jenna Lang is getting set up. It's looking like she's going to cross it in. The Wolverines have, I count, 7 players standing at the top of Ohio State's box. Lang with the cross in. It's a low roller, a line drive. Woods tries to get a boot on it. Ohio State has it for the moment. And then it goes out of bounds. The AR says it's Buckeyes ball.
I'm not sure if playing a direct free kick there from 45 meters out was the move, Neal.
I would agree, and clearly it didn't work out there.
No, it did not.
Buckeyes looking for a through ball to Kayla Fisher. She's not there. Tamia Tolbert had that covered all day. Tolbert then kicks it forward and literally just goes right back to Ohio State. Gianola turns it over. Can Michigan do something now? Jenna Lang looking left wing. She finds her teammate, Sammy Woods, on the left wing, but we get an offsides call.
I think she just floated offsides there. You know, it's very tough to hold that line, especially when OSU is pressing high up and forcing that offsides almost.
Yeah, it was tough to hear that offsides call, or the whistle by the official there. You have a very good crowd here in Ann Arbor. A lot of fans showing up, a decent student section too.
You know, it does seem that Michigan has already made a tactical change with that yellow card. You see Sammy Woods has moved over to the left wing, and Casey Lawrence takes her spot on the right.
A good point. Farkas now with the ball just past midfield. Low line drive pass to Casey Lawrence. Now to Woods. Can she make something happen from the left? She whips it in, but it goes right to the hands of Kat Robinson. Both of these teams are still a celebration moment, you could say. Jones Black dribbling it up the left towards midfield. Black with a little scissor move, and then turns it right over. Kalita Bridenstine. Back to Emily Layson. Kalita sends it forward. Farkas has a lot of energy. She didn't start this second half, and finds a good cross to Bridenstine.
Great distribution there from Farkas.
Bridenstine sends it forward. Sammy Woods now from the right. Whips another cross in. Can they get a foot on it? They do. It's Casey Lawrence, but it goes straight out of bounds.
Wolverines are looking very threatening out on the wings now. It definitely feels like something's brewing up, doesn't it, Neal?
It definitely does. Vicky Jones is also brewing up as she comes onto the field for Avery Kalita. Buckeyes haven't really been making any substitutions as we get the goal kick here.
No, they're really sticking with that core group. Their team is very young, so I wonder if that has anything to do with it. You know, a lot of their players are in a very, very big freshman class, so maybe those players just aren't experienced enough, for a big rivalry game like this.
Yeah, here comes Emily Sears now, working on Anaya League. Those two have been going at it all day. Sears will have a throw-in. Not really any Buckeyes are forward. We have a substitution. I was just going to say Kine Flotro is going to get back into this game, and she is now.
She's coming in with a fresh pair of legs, and she's going to be a dangerous one here. She's the focal point of this Ohio State offense, so we'll see how Michigan can deal with her.
She comes on for Ella Gianola. Here's a cross into the box, and maybe not a great bit of defensive work by Tamia Tolbert. She just kicked it right out of bounds, and it'll be a corner for the Buckeyes.
That was a scary moment there as Tamia kind of awkwardly dealt with that ball in, but it's a corner kick here for the Buckeyes.
Interesting set piece for Ohio State. They have 4 players standing at the goal line.
Yeah, definitely crowding Izzy, but Izzy's a big girl in there. I think she can definitely stand her own.
Most definitely. Buckeyes decide not to cross it in. Now they do. A header by Sensky. Michigan kicking it around, and Casey Lawrence will be running after it near midfield. She gets a head on the ball, trying to fight for it with her defender, and then slide tackles. The official makes the call. I thought she got ball, but
Casey's a physical player, and sometimes she can get drawn into those tackles without even knowing. Good bit of sportsmanship there as Kaylee goes over and brings up that Buckeye.
Yeah, that was Sydney Jones that went down there with the battle with Casey Lawrence, but it'll be Buckeyes ball near midfield. Olivia Sensky Sends it into McNamara, who then tries to chip it forward to 21. Dudakovic. Out wide, Emily Sears has it. Sears tries to cross in. Stolen by Michigan and then cleared out by Anaya League.
Definitely no nonsense defending back there from the Wolverines. Any chance they get on the ball, they're sending it up.
Wolverines looking for a header here. They get one. And here comes Michigan. A little bit of a 3v5, maybe 4v5. They're getting numbers up. Lily Farkas with it, working on Flotra. Finds a great through ball to Casey Lawrence, just long though, and out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick. 11:45 to go here on WCBN 88.3 FM. Between Michigan women's soccer and Ohio State, we are still tied 0-0, 0 apiece here.
You know, both these teams, as we've mentioned before, coming off a tough conference loss last week. I know both of them are going to want to push forward. It should be an interesting last 10 minutes to this game.
Ooh, that's a weak, I would say a weak call by the official there. But I guess Daniel Wolf may be at her hands on Olivia Sensky.
I'm not sure
Sensky
exactly
to
what the
Sydney
call
Jones
was
and
there.
just kicks it out of bounds. My goodness. Buckeyes coaching staff cannot be happy with that. Just a free kick that she just kicked right out of bounds.
That could make Shaq's not so top 10 right there.
You mean Shackton a fool?
Shaq'd in a fool, yeah.
Yeah. Or Sports Center's not top 10 too, either way.
I think I mixed them up there in my head.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling me out there now.
Tamia Tolbert now has it for Michigan. Tolbert looking for a deep through ball to find Sammy Woods, who is sprinting after it, trying to keep it in bounds. The two players crash. That's Barnett and Sammy Woods. Barnett already has a yellow card, keep in mind. And then we have some call by the officials going to the Ohio State bench that, frankly, I can't even see as we're up in the press booth here.
You know, Neil, it looks like there's some kind of stuff going on on the Ohio State sideline. I think those Ohio State coaches are getting a little rowdy over there. Just a gentle reminder by the referee that he's the only man in charge of this game.
Yeah, it's a very good point. We have two referees here calling this game, or previous referees. Both Ali and I used to have our days in refereeing. Sensky sends it forward. A great ball into Emily Sears. Can she make something happen? A volley over the net of Izzy Nino. And Michigan, nothing doing there for Ohio State. Michigan will have another goal kick.
I think that ball caught us all off guard there for a second. Definitely weren't expecting that.
Yeah. Layson now has it for Michigan to Tolbert. Tolbert trying to find players. She does. Sammy Woods makes the run back in. Then a good ball to Jenna Lang. Lang then sends it forward to Casey Lawrence, Lawrence dribbling it up. Will she cut back in? She does with her right. Looking for Farkas. She's been dangerous from outside. She'll have one. Oh, no, she won't. Fake. Tried finding Daniel Wolf, who then lost it. And the Buckeyes kicked it straight into the official. And I've never seen this, but they're just giving it right to Ohio State.
Yeah, they're definitely going to call it back. That bump off the referee definitely interfered with play. So
Sensky to Sydney Jones. Now Maddie Lowe with it. Lowe looking forward for Emily Sears. Sears holding on to it. Nia League approaching and then gets a boot on it out of bounds. It'll be a corner for the Buckeyes.
Now just under 9 minutes left in this game, and you can definitely tell both teams are starting to play more direct. It's going to be a big battle between the setter backs on both ends to clear the ball forward.
A little chilly day here in Ann Arbor. Certainly the players look a little rusty too. Some sloppy passing as the corner gets sent in. Izzy Nino goes straight up for it. That was just routine goalkeeping for the Wolverine.
Good collection, getting up and big there.
Nino then distributes to Bridenstine. Up to Vicky Jones. Forward is Jenna Lang. Bridenstine now near the right sideline. Tried finding Sammy Woods, but then had it stolen by Kayla Fisher. It's a throw-in for the Buckeyes. Maddie Lowe.
Just looked like the ball got stuck in their feet there for a second. Lily Farkas gets back on the ball in the midfield after a careless turnover.
Good little turn by Farkas. Lang forward to Sammy Woods. Overlapping route by Bridenstine. Not played by Woods, and Buckeyes get it right back.
And a careless turnover there. This is where you want Michigan to really be patient and show some experience on the ball.
Sydney Jones with a great overlapping run. Finds it forward. Emily Sears. Great bit of passing by the Buckeyes here. Sears into the box and cleared by Layson. No nonsense defense right now for the Wolverines. Just clearing everything they see.
You know, I'm very surprised we've seen Layson playing so long in the center back position and Margot Ridgway just sitting on that bench still.
And I-League sends it forward. Out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Buckeyes near midfield.
Looks like Michigan's preparing a few subs now.
Jones throws it forward to an I-League, right to Lily Farkas. Farkas tried finding Danielle Wolf, who then lost it. And Ohio State has right back and then kicks it forward to an I-League. I thought that ball was going out. I think so should, oh my goodness, I can't even speak right now. So did she.
She got, I think Timmy Otolba got shoved in the back there. A foul gets called for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I apologize, everyone. It's a little cold out, so the tongue's getting a little stiff.
Yeah, I think all parts of our bodies are shivering right now. You know, it's crazy because it's 84 yesterday, and, today it's 55 degrees. Typical Michigan weather.
Yep. Layson now for Michigan sends it forward. Lawrence then keeps it inbounds to Danielle Wolf. Sensky hits it out. Wolf will have a throw-in, but the refs are going to signal for a sub. Callie Burrell will be coming on for Casey Lawrence, who had been playing the whole half, and number 7, Hackinson for Michigan. Meredith Hackinson will be coming on. The fans giving a good round of applause for Casey Lawrence, who really gave it her all today. We'll see if it can end in a Michigan win, as well as Danielle Wolf coming off the field.
Yeah, Danielle Wolf got a good bit of cheers there. She came off. Excellent performance from her.
Lily Farkas keeps it in on the left sideline. Farkas, ooh, great turn. Farkas working on the Buckeye, making her dance. Sends it into the
shifty
box.
One, isn't she, Neal?
She definitely is. Buckeyes get it back for the moment, and then Jenna Lang gets it back. A little bit of urgency going on here from Michigan. Talani Barnett trying to send it forward, but then stolen once again by Jenna Lang. And then Barnett right back with it. Kayla Fisher forward and then kicked out of bounds by Michigan. Once again, Emily Layson not messing around there.
No, I think this late in the game, you definitely cannot afford a costly turnover. Center backs on both teams doing a great job of no-nonsense defending.
Emily Vatna onto the field for the Buckeyes for Dudikovich. As did Ella Gianola come on. Jones Black for the Buckeyes with it. Sends it forward. Referee doesn't make a call as Jenna Lang went down. Vicki Jones with it. Forward to Hackinson. Hackinson gets pushed out of bounds. Will play advantage for now. It's Woods. Cuts it in. Woods trying to find teammates. Not too many up right now. Lily Farkas. Is she going to have her chance from deep? She will. And Robinson just tips it over the net with 4 minutes to go. We are still tied in Ann Arbor 0-0 between Michigan and Ohio State.
What a strike there from Lily Farkas. Just tipped over by Kat Robinson. Oh my God, she's been so shifty today. She continues to cut back and forth on these defenders, and she's having a field day with them today, but still 0-0.
Wolverines will have another corner here. They whip it in towards the goalie. They get a header, Layson, but it goes straight down and out left of the goal.
I think when Michigan looks back at this game, if it does finish 0-0, still a lot of time left here today, but they're definitely going to be regretting all these missed chances.
Yeah, Sensky now has it from the goal kick. Finds it forward, Sydney Jones. And deflected out of bounds. Off of Michigan, it'll be Buckeyes ball. Jones with it, throws it in. Maddie Lowe. Sends it forward. Michigan gets a steal in I-League with it. Here come the Wolverines up the left sideline. They have 4 up. Michigan up the left wing. I believe that was Sammy Woods, who then fired it forward and stolen by Talani Barnett. Ohio State has it. 2:45 to go. Buckeyes rushing forward. Flotra, low. Looking up the left sideline is Jones Black. Emily Sears now playing more of the left wing role. Loses it, and Michigan has it back. It's Callie Burrell with it near midfield.
Callie's going to look for a switch here. She finds Sarah.
She does to Bridenstine, but it gets stolen by the Buckeyes. Here comes Emily Sears up the left. She cuts it in with the right, takes a deep shot, but it gets deflected. Buckeyes still have it. Sydney Jones now tries her luck from distance and wide left of the goal. Just under 2 to go.
That one rolled wide there, just under 2 now, as you said. Michigan now with the ball. Let's see if they can stir anything up on this possession.
Bridenstine playing it up the sideline. Back to Bridenstine. Get a little bit of footwork from Bridenstine to Jenna Lang. Lang looking forward, and I'm not sure where she was going with that pass as it goes straight to Robinson.
It's been the story of the night for these Wolverines, just careless mistakes, especially from the midfield looking forward and playing too direct almost. I know there's a minute and a half left, but I would have liked for them to be calm and collected there.
Robinson with the punt forward. Maddie Lowe has it near midfield. Shielding her defender, trying to hold on to it. She does. Talani Barnett, who has the yellow card, finds it up to Jones Black. A minute to go in this game. Emily Sears back to Jones Black. Buckeyes maybe looking for their last chance. Maybe they won't get it. What a through ball to Sammy Woods. Robinson's coming all the way out.
Wow.
And clears it up.
Great step there from Kat Robinson, or else Sammy Woods would have been in on goal.
She most certainly was. The Michigan assistant coaches were not happy with the call the official just made near midfield. Buckeyes now have it. It's Emily Sears. Finds it forward. Stolen by Michigan. Back to Ohio State. Now Ohio State's going to try their luck on the right now. The shot in with the left boot, just straight to the hands of Izzy Nino. Only 20 seconds to go.
You know, they got to go forward now. It's time to play direct. It's time now.
Urging them forward. Nino just boots it deep. Maybe one last chance for either team. If even that. We get a shot clock countdown. Layson has it, and then the clock is going to run out. The players just gave up on the ball there. This is going to end as the clock runs out. It is a tie. The Michigan Wolverines tie the Ohio State Buckeyes 0-0. Not, the game that I think many would have expected, because you would have thought maybe there would be some scoring in here, but my goodness,
yeah,
0-0.
Definitely not the ending we expected here. Both teams with a very rapid front three as it finishes 0-0. Definitely an unexpected result, but what do you think there is to take away from this for the Wolverines?
I don't know. I mean, I think that we talked about it earlier that the scoring has been an issue for Michigan. And they had a couple of decent chances, but frankly, I'm not sure that I would say they had any great chances. They had some solid outside shots, but nothing that you really look at and say, oh, that's a sitter that they missed. Maybe, I guess, Casey Lawrence in the first half, right? I
think that, and also Lily Farkas with the shot from outside of the box that ricocheted off the crossbar. I think that was also a good opportunity, but you're right, no real clear-cut opportunities. Nothing definitely worked from inside the box besides that Casey Lawrence opportunity that you mentioned in the first half. Ohio State definitely had some more opportunities closer to the goal. I think they did a great job of possessing the ball and being calm and collected, more so than the Wolverines, especially in the first half. But I think both teams came out to play today, and unfortunately none got the result that they wanted.
Most definitely. And a note for listenership, we will be staying on air until 9 p.m., where then we'll be switching off of WCBN FM. But, for this kind of post-game show, Ali, when you look back at this game, what do you change if you're Jennifer Klein? What is she going to be preaching to her team that you'll be hearing in practices?
Yeah, so fun fact is I actually help with the women's soccer team as a volunteer player, and I know they've been preparing for this game all week, but I know that this result is not going to weigh on the Wolverines too heavily. We've said before they got a quick turnaround now on Sunday as they play the Nebraska Cornhuskers, so I think all attention shifts to that game. They're definitely going to watch film. They're definitely going to prepare for the Nebraska game. It's a big conference game there, and I don't think they're going to really worry too much about the result here. I think they've got a lot to fix and a lot that they will fix, and I think Coach Jen and Coach Sammy Boateng are going to sit down and go over the meeting notes or the game notes tomorrow and present it to the team.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think if you had told me beforehand, or if you had asked me beforehand, I guess you should say, of how this game would go, I probably would have said Michigan has a couple miscues in their back line, but maybe ends up winning the game with a score of something like 3-2. Yep. You know, I thought there'd be much more scoring, and I thought the back line for Michigan would maybe struggle a little bit more. It seemed like they had no issues today, though.
No, not at all. Contrary to what we were talking about before this game, Margot Ridgway and Tamia Tolbert came in strong. Definitely no nonsense defending, and when they had to put a leg in and make a big tackle, they did. Gave up very little fouls. I think a lot of the fouls that were given up were coming from the midfield, not so much from those two center backs. They did a great job, and even in the second half when we saw Emily Layson come in, not the natural center back, she did a great job with her positioning, and they were able to get a shutout here. Unfortunately, no goals on the other end, but you got to give it up to those defenders there today.
Yeah, and like you said, Emily Layson, that was a surprise that she stayed in. Is there maybe a reason why she did over Margot Ridgway, or is it just fatigue?
I think that, and also realizing that you've got a game in 2 days. You know, maybe Margot Ridgway isn't able to play all those minutes, and I know for a fact Tamia Tolbert is tired. You know, especially dealing with those pacey forwards. So Emily Layson did a great job. She definitely proved a point to those coaches. She is a senior, so she's definitely stepped up here today, and I think Coach Jen is very proud of her.
Yeah, I completely agree. The Wolverines, like you said or alluded to there, will be playing Sunday. They have just 2 rest days. Will be playing Sunday against the Nebraska Cornhuskers in a surprising move to call that game Senior Day, even though it'll just be September 25th. Very early in the year to call it Senior Day, as they also have 3 more home games. But definitely anybody in the area in Ann Arbor, make sure to show out and support the women's soccer team, as Michigan just tied Ohio State 0-0, a solid Buckeyes team. Michigan will drop to, maybe I shouldn't say drop, but they are now 5-4-1, or excuse me, 5-3-2. And the Buckeyes, you know, with them being just their second conference tester for Michigan, what do you look forward to now in terms of the teams that they have coming up? They're playing, like I said, Nebraska on Sunday. They're playing after that. They have Minnesota, Iowa, Michigan State. Those are 3 straight away games. And then they get that stretch that we talked about earlier of Northwestern, Rutgers, and Penn State. So what are you looking at these next, 3-4 games for Michigan, playing a little bit lesser competition, you could say?
Well, I think it's definitely a time that Michigan needs to start taking stuff that they've been training and practice, some plays that they've drawn up, some changes they want to make, and testing them in these next 3 games, because season's only going to get tougher, as you said. Those 3 games against Northwestern, Penn State, and what was that third game?
Rutgers.
Yeah. Those are some great teams right there, great Big Ten talent. Rutgers, as we said, lost today to Penn State, going 9-1, but they are a very talented team, so they need to, the Wolverines definitely need to go into practice, figure out what they need to change, implement it in these next 3 games, and go into that 3-game stretch with a clear mind and ready to win, earn their spot in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, and you have to think too, with the way that the NCAA tournament works and the Big Ten tournament also, once you're into the Big Ten tournament, anybody has a shot. And so even for a team like Michigan that maybe isn't off to the best of starts, this is the same team that just last year ran the table at the Big Ten tournament, won 3 straight games, including beating the number 4 Rutgers team at the time in that championship game of the Big Ten tournament. So anything can happen. Last thoughts, Ali, as we only have about 2 minutes left here. What, any last thoughts on this game? I'll leave it kind of open to you.
Yeah, I definitely want to move past this game, because I know the Wolverines definitely want to too, besides watching film tomorrow. they're going to get ready for the Nebraska game, and they're going to come out shooting. I think they definitely want to get some goals in. They're definitely going to be disappointed with themselves that they couldn't get one in the back of the net today. So I think a big point of practice tomorrow and Saturday is going to be the attacking third. You know, how are they going to be able to generate more opportunities, more decisive moments, and finishing? I think that's one thing they do need to work on. They've got the talent, and I'm excited to see what they'll bring against Nebraska.
Yeah, most definitely. And like you said, I think another point of emphasis that maybe I'll say is that possession. My goodness, today they just did not hold on to the ball well enough, and so they're going to have to work on that for the rest of this season. Once again, you're listening to WCBN FM and WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan women's soccer as we get ready to turn it over here at the top of the hour. The Michigan Wolverines tied Ohio State 0-0 here in Ann Arbor. My name is Neal Sinha, doing the play-by-play commentary along with Ali Houmani. And we want to thank everybody for listening. Per usual, we really appreciate all of the support on FM as well as YouTube. We really appreciate every single listener, so thank you so much, and we'll be back next time on WCBN Sports.